Welcome to Keep Trucking Personal. I'm Tyler Kivi, a third-generation trucker, and my purpose is simple: to make sure the definition of trucking doesn't get lost in the culture this industry is drifting toward. This podcast is about real stories, the hard lessons, and the standards that built this business long before apps and algorithms. If you believe trucking is more than freight and its responsibility, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Keep Trucking Personal. My name is Tyler Kivi, and I'm your host. I'm sure everyone's noticed it. Fuel prices are through the roof. This market is starting to heat up. And man, I'm really excited for what this summer is going to bring. A lot of people are talking about a strong quarter 1, which we just wrapped up, and we're into the month of April. But it is getting excited. And that's what keeps leading me into these series, right? We just wrapped up Living Radical. And all of this is to continue to prepare us to strike why the iron is hot right now. We need to be prepared, and we need to be the best version of ourselves, the best version of a truck driver that we can be to capitalize on this market. But first, I want to talk real quick about this high fuel costs. You see it when you're putting fuel in the truck. Like, you're reading the pump right there. You see the costs that go into your truck every single day. And some drivers, if you think about our heavy haul side, that's twice a day they're doing that. Please be mindful. It doesn't matter who you drive for. Be mindful. Be courteous. If you can shut that truck off when you're getting ready to load, shut it off. Take the extra steps. If you can slow down and you have time to travel over the weekend and you don't need to be up against your governor, slow down. Think about all of that. We talk so much about tire pressures and trying to monitor your equipment and doing your pre-trips thoroughly. Now is the time that it matters most. We haven't talked about it for years to get to this time where it counts most. It's like every fraction counts for so much. We haven't talked about it all this time to just lay down and let these huge fuel prices just surge. So please be mindful, take consideration all of the things that you've learned throughout your career as a truck driver and put them into action now so that you can set yourself up for the best summer possible. And we can be mindful of these crazy costs because nobody's assuming fuel will go down. There might be, some ebbs and flows up and down here and there, but we're trending around $5 a gallon national average. You get out west, you're seeing $6 a gallon or more. Like, it's wild right now. So do your part. Be mindful of fuel costs and what you can do to help minimize that exposure. But like I said, we just wrapped up Living Radical series. I love that series. I mean, those are things that I think about all the time and I'm passionate about, and it really gets me motivated. And it's going to lead into another 3-part series that I call Stand Firm and Act Like a Trucker. And I'll tell you right now, this series is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be soft and cushy and cuddly, and it's not going to be polished. It's not going to be for everyone, because what we're going to talk about is what this industry was built on and the standards and accountability and pride in the job. And friends, I'm telling you, this is all continuing to lead up to what this summer is going to be. So take into consideration everything and just picture yourself in all this as we talk through it, because you matter and you make a difference in this industry and you play a huge part in whatever company you're a part of. And if you're at Kivi, we want you to think about this. But somewhere along the way, this industry has let those standards and accountability and pride in the job just slip. It's just like it water off your back. It's gone. And all of a sudden now we're a whole different industry. And we're going to go over 3 episodes here, and we're going to cover part 1, which is today, Stand Firm. And this is about being the backbone of this industry. This is a no excuse driver. This is owning your role no matter what shows up. That's part 1. Part 2 is going to be about do the job right. And this is about the details and taking pride in your work and not cutting corners when nobody's watching. Okay, that's part 2. And part 3 is going to be act like a trucker. This is about how you carry yourself. This is about how you represent the job and what people see and think when they see you outside of your truck. This is what it's like when you were a kid and you were pumping your arm to get that truck driver to honk their horn. Act like a trucker. We are a trucking community and we need to act like it. And this isn't going to be just the series about calling people out, but it's going to be about calling people up and bringing you back up the standard, because this job still means something, and it should to you. If you're listening to this, it should to you. Okay, so let's start with part 1, Stand Firm. Stand firm and act like a trucker, because I always default back to what my grandfather did and my parent and my uncles did. And I love the concept I had a driver remind me of not too long ago, that although my last name is Kivi and it is on the side of the door, that's not the name I'm representing. It's not my name. It's my grandfather's name. It's his legacy that I'm trying to carry forward. It's not my name. It's not just because my last name's Kivi. It's his legacy I'm trying to carry forward. And everyone at this company is trying to carry that legacy forward for something that he built and started out back in the day when trucking was real deal. Like it was a different kind of trucking. And that's what I want to make sure that we all understand and relate to, and we uphold that. Of course, trucking is not it's not going to be now what it was then. There's just no physical way, but we can't lose the foundation of what got us there. And this being a trucker and standing firm is going to really mean toughness. It's going to mean reliability. And it meant that you could be the person that I could count on you no matter what. That's hard to find nowadays. Like, I'm not bringing this up just to sound fun and come at it from a side angle here. This is the reality. People are less accountable now than they were back then. Why? Why is everyone so soft? Why is everyone got soft hands, right? I'm sure everyone's seen the TikTok where he talks about soft hands. Why? That's a real conversation that we should be asking. Why is everyone unreliable? What caused it? Is it when things got hard, all of a sudden everybody started to buckle? You just were allowed to back out real quick, like you didn't care. I mean, my grandfather didn't just fold when pressure got hot, when the circumstances were not in his favor, and it kept every day like a wave smashing into the side of the boat, just kept going into the storm, and he kept going and going and going. He didn't give up. He didn't fold. He stood firm. And that's what we're missing more of. We need to stand firm. And going right into it, straight at it, this job is not easy. I don't need to pretend. Of course, there's so many awesome things that you get to do and see, but it's not easy. The long days, the weather, the delays, the job sites keep getting tighter and tighter, and there's more traffic. And things go not as planned every week. You can attest to something like that. I'm not just saying that because it's a once a month, once a quarter, once a year. That's every week. You will be impacted by one of those. That's the job. That's just how it goes. But somewhere along the way, we started making excuses. Simple as that. We started making excuses, and excuses started to become normal. Just like any habit, you start doing it every single day. You make up a little white lie here and it turns into a white lie there. And pretty soon that's your default. Running late. Oh, we're going to blame traffic instead of, hey, I overslept. I bet you can attest to that. I'm guilty. I found ways to find an excuse to cover up my own mistakes, and I'm sure that you have too. A load issue. Let's blame the shipper. Hey, I'm heavy on my drives. Okay, you are the driver. Why did you let them load it on your drives that way? I don't understand why, right? Like, you have gauges on your truck. You have gauges in your trailer. You have ways to be prepared to do the job. Why is it heavy on your drives, right? Like, why? Why do we have to blame the shipper? Think about it. How did we get to that spot? How did we let them put us overweight on our drives, overweight on our trailer? Those are things that we hear all the time. Miscommunication. Let's blame somebody else. Let's say it was the dispatcher's fault. Let's say it was the driver's fault. Let's say there was no phone number on the bills. The reality is we know we need to connect with these people. Why did we wait until we got there for them to find out that they need a crane to unload you? And now everybody's stuck. It's costing you money. It's costing the company money. And it just created a bunch of extra frustration that nobody wants. Why? Listen, guys, excuses don't build anything, and they're not going to ever make you better. They don't even earn you respect, honestly. And I know you feel deep down that that was a lie. They're not going to solve any problems for you, and they just keep you stuck in that same revolving circle of lying. And so, looking back at the legacy of my grandpa, looking back at my dad and the way they trucked, they had ownership in it. I want to tell you something about my dad. And I remember this profoundly, and I don't understand still how he had that clock, that internal clock, but he used to start his day every single day at 2 a.m. The unique thing about that is he never set an alarm. Not once. He doesn't even know how to set an alarm on his phone right now, and he has an iPhone. So think back to when, there wasn't an iPhone. He didn't have an alarm. He woke up every single day on his own at 2 a.m. and did it. He took ownership in every situation, and he mastered it. He had a good time. He loved trucking. He was proud to be a truck driver. And he kept after it. Now ask yourself, how many times are you setting your own self up for success? Has it become part of you? Is it your DNA? Are you always finding yourself on the tail end, or what you might call a losing deal? What do you got to do to change it? Maybe you should take some ownership. Understand that even when it's not your fault, it's your fault. Late? Let's own it. It's my fault. I overslept. Mistake? Hey, I made a mistake. I didn't realize I should have talked to that shipper and made sure they didn't overload me on my drives. Or now I know. I've learned. I've learned from that. I've got experience now, and I'm a better driver. Miscommunication. Hey, You know what? I'm prepared now. I understand that as a truck driver, I need to set myself up for success and communicate with my shipper and receiver religiously, like it's my job, because it is. And that's the ownership. That's the ownership that gives you control. And blame is going to give it away. So get rid of that blame and focus on ownership. And like I said, I look back in history all the time. That's what I'm trying to defend. I'm trying to defend the name on the side of the door that even though it's my last name, it's not my legacy, it's my grandfather's legacy. And that's what I'm trying to uphold. And even to this day, I look at my dad and he still works every single day. And he is the first one to call out that he doesn't take sick days. He doesn't do any of that. And trust me, there's days he's been sick and he's not immune to that. But he has that ownership ingrained into him that he's going to show up every day for you because you show up for him. He's not going to let you down. And that's what I'm trying to get at. That's it distilled down, the ownership. That's what he has. That's what I try to get better at every single day. That's the standard that I work around. So if you can imagine trying to call in sick to my dad when he says he never calls in sick, it's hard to do. You better be sick, or you will feel it in your gut that you lied and you made up an excuse. And I've seen so many drivers that have had an answer for everything. Honestly, when I get on a phone with a driver, it doesn't impress me that you know every single thing, or you're trying to tell me you've been there, done it. Like sometimes that's a flaw, right? Overconfidence can lead you into mistakes or complacency. And they always have a reason for whatever it is, right? Now this happened, it's like they got a Rolodex with excuses. Boom, 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 boom. Here's what happened here. Here's what happened here. Here's what happened here. I'm not making money. I'm not doing this. But when you put a little pressure back, or you pull up facts, right? And facts for us are receipts. It's your logbook. Let's go through it. Let's talk about your hours. Let's talk about a 70-hour clock. How many did you use of it? Do you want to know that the average driver typically uses around 55 hours of their clock? That's 15 hours a week that is left on the table. 15 hours a week left on the table. And when they get within 20 hours of using up their 70 or 20 hours left, they start talking about where I'm going to do a reset. Friends, we're too worried about excuses and breaks instead of hammering it down. And if you're listening to this again, look at your clock. Have you squeezed that thing? Have you set yourself up for success? I know when my grandpa was trucking and all my uncles were trucking, my dad, they were not sitting there trying to shut down early. They were using every single thing they had, every resource they had to make sure they got the most out of it. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for you. I want you to be successful. I don't want it to be someone else's fault. I don't want everybody to always mess with you and you always caught the short end of the deal. Because I'm going to tell you, those people never get better. It's always going to be someone else's fault and they never fix it. And so let's paint the picture of the best case scenario, right? Like, let's go back in time. Let's think of the black coffee drinking, hard steel toe boots wearing, dirty jeans, button up shirt with maybe pearl snaps on it. Those type of drivers. Let's think about how they operated back in the day. They took responsibility. They knew if they broke down, they had to handle it themselves. There wasn't even a cell phone. And we have the luxuries of all of this now, and we've gotten softer versus leveraging it. Everything may not have been their responsibility, but in the moment, they took 100% of ownership. And because of that, my grandpa got better. He became a better operator. He learned the ins and outs of the business. And he became a guy that people could count on, which garnered him more business. And that was not luck. It was not luck at all. Because sometimes I even sit back and say, whoa, got lucky on this. Like, did not expect this rate or this customer. That wasn't luck. And sometimes I need to stop telling myself that, because we go through so much and try to raise the standards all the time that when you look at it, you start to realize your standards are what got you there. And it's awesome. Look, if you don't think the way you practice is the way you're going to play, then I got news for you that you're going to fail. You're going to fail. That's the truth. If you're cutting corners and trying to slop through this and late to every single thing and you haven't realized that it's time to step up, man, it's going to happen. It's going to hit. And I hate that. I don't want you in that position. I know that as a truck driver, like I just said, this season is heating up. There's room for you to make big money. Let's truck. That's what it's all about, right? You want to make money, look good, feel good, and put the miles on. And that's what's coming right now. And so you need to prepare for it. And if you've been practicing sloppy and you haven't been getting yourself in the right mindset, what's going to happen? It's going to breeze right by and you're going to be the one standing on the sideline going, what happened? Where was I? How did I not get a piece of that? How come I wasn't on that project? Why didn't I get in that emergency job? Well, maybe you can answer those questions yourself. because, we all can look really good when it's easy. When freight gets busy, it's hard. It's what we all want. It's what I've talked about for years. We need this market to turn. And when it starts to turn, it does not just get easier. In fact, it gets the opposite. I've always said the saying that you're either finding freight or you're trying to cover freight. Like, there's really no in between in trucking. There's never just a perfect balance. We're like, oh, every truck's loaded, let's go home. There's never a delay. You're either trying to find freight or you're trying to cover freight. And it's just that dynamic. And as the market gets hotter, the pressure increases. And that means there's going to be more expectations. You're going to be going, find another driver for that load. Why do I have to take it? Well, it's because I cannot find another driver. Everybody is planned. We need you to step up. You need to step up. This is your chance. Take advantage of it. And that's when you're going to find out who you are, right? Pressure gets hot. Are you going to lose your composure and get frustrated and melt down? Are you going to stay steady and handle it and say, I've been practicing and I've been getting ready for this time, and now is my time to capitalize? We talked about moving up in divisions in previous episode. Man, now is your time. You want to show up and show out? Buckle in. Let's see it. Let's see you handle it. Because pressure doesn't just build character. No, it doesn't. It's going to reveal who you are. It's going to reveal who you are. And so standing firm means you don't fold when things are going to get uncomfortable and the pressure turns up and things get hot in the kitchen. You don't look for the easy way out. You understand that nothing is free in this world and you're going to have to work for it. I've learned that. My Uncle Randy used to tell me that all the time when I was really young. And he'd say, it didn't matter what you got or how it was given to you, nothing is free. And, even when you're young, you try to understand that. And it's like, how? This was given to me free, right? Or in this circumstance. And even in trucking, more than ever proves that to me. Like, you might have a really good week, but be prepared because you could break down next week. Nothing is free. Everything makes you pay for it. So don't look for the easy way out. Get in, get your hands dirty, step up, take the ownership, and handle it every single time. And at the end of the day, this job's going to test you. Like I said, I wasn't going to lie to you. I'm going to give it to you straight. This job's going to test you. It's going to challenge you. And it is hard. That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed about this job. The only question is, when it does come at you like a wave after wave after wave, are you going to stand firm? Are you? Next episode, we're going to talk about part 2, and that's do the job right. And because standing firm alone is the foundation, but how you execute the job, that's what is going to separate you. And so thanks for listening to Keep Trucking Personal. Until next time, be safe. Appreciate you tuning in. If you got value out of this, subscribe and send it to someone who takes pride in the job. We're not just moving freight, we're shaping the culture. Catch you on the next one.